Good morning. As we already spoke about the beginning time of Kiddush Levana, the question arises until when may one recite Kiddush Levana? When is the last time allowed? The Gemara in Sanhedrin writes that when is the last time allowed to recite Kiddush Levana? It's until the blemish is completed. Ad shetismale pigimasa, until it is full. Meaning to say, one has until we know that there's the cycle of the moon that waxes and wanes. So from the beginning, from the mola, from the time where it is entirely dark, we don't see any, and it's the very beginning of the renewal cycle, until it is a full moon, is the very last time. Once it begins to slightly become less again, then it is too late to recite Kiddush Levana. When is that? So the Gemara says the machlokas, whether it is 7 days or up until the 16th day after the molet. And the Kolbo writes that lichatchilo, one should recite it by the 7th day, even though we mentioned that the Shulchan Aruch quotes another approach that we should specifically not recite it until 7 days. But the Kolbo says that b'diavad, one certainly has up until this opinion, up until the 16th day after the molad, but after that it would be too late. And the Shulchan Aruch indeed rules that one has until the 16th day after the molad of the moon. However, not including the 16th day. So 15 full days after the molad is the time in which one has to recite Kiddush Levana. The Mishnah Berurah points out an important point, that it's not measured by up until the 16th of the month per se, because it is measured from 15 complete 24-hour periods of time from the molad itself. So it's not dependent upon the date as much as it is dependent precisely halfway through the full cycle of the moon. And the Ramah quotes, because of that it's not even 15 full days, but it's really half of what the Rambam figures out is a complete cycle of 29 days, 12 hours, and 793 chalakim. So if you divided that in half, a little bit less than 30 days, divided that in half is the final time which one can recite Kiddush Levana. Essentially 15 days after the molad. Now, the Biur Halacha does write that if one is in a situation where that amount of time has passed, where it's too late, but one has not recited Kiddush Levana yet, then one still can, for the 16th day, one may still recite the Kiddush Levana, however, without the actual Shem Malchus, without the actual bracha itself, that one can say the bracha without God's name, and the rest of the tefillah, but should leave out the formal bracha. So again, it's halfway until the moon is complete, so halfway through the whole cycle, and once it begins to become smaller, then that becomes too late to recite Kiddush Levana. Essentially 15 whole days of 24-hour periods after the onset of the new cycle, though it really may be a tad less than that, as the Ramah writes, but one essentially has 15 days after the molad. Have a fantastic day.